Yo, it's Friday night, 9 p.m. sharp. You know what time it is.
Narcocop and Timothy hitting you with that Lambo energy.
He's Mike by name, but the streets call Narcocop. Used to bust dealers, now he's busting long shots. Retired badge, now he's bad with the bets. Octagon fiend, cashing slips, no regrets. Friday night fight, Seki poured on ice. Lambo Plays Podcast, breaking down the price. Got parlays, KO, subs in round 3. Split decision magic, cash it like a G. Lambo Plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo Plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KO's a B, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big, LFG. Tim Troiano, lotion in hand. Tennis coach by day, fight fan of the land. Watching WMMA, yeah, you know the drill. Playing with himself, just joking, but still. Impressions fly, Katona in the house. Roses Jr. squeaking, Tim's loud like a mouse. Cornholio vibes, he's stealing the show. Narcos like bruh, but they still go toe to toe. Round 2 chaos, round 3 gold. Split decisions, bets unfold. Side case sipping, parlays lit. Lambo energy, never quit. Lambo Plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo Plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KOSOB, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big, LFG.
Narcocop, Timothy, Friday nights, yeah. The Lambo Plays Podcast, where long shots live large and splits hit harder. We out. We out. We out.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Lambo Plays Podcast, episode 179 for UFC Abu Dhabi. I am your host, Mike, along with my co-host, Tim Bacon, in the house. Abu Dhabi, 13 fights. We got some short notice. I mean, a lot of guys are actually on short notice on this card. There's some late replacements. There is... the main event is a late replacement. There's some fights that were put together kind of last second as well. The Vagaev versus Sagid fight. Tim, we got 13 fights. We're doing this a night before we usually do it because it's a very early card. So I kind of want people to get a head start on, if they want to put in the plays. Normally we do it, Friday night, but with a very early card, I decided to do it on Thursday night.
Yeah, man, excited to chop it up with you. I think kind of a so-so card. I think from a level standpoint, I think the next couple cards are kind of shitty, but sometimes those can be profitable.
Yeah, let me go over to my chat. Shout out my chat. Elijah Juan, let's effing go. Dixon says, Narco and Tim hotter than a gym. Narco and Tim tastier than a Slim Jim. Speaking it into existence, this is the weekend we hit a Lambo Parlay. We're going to be eating camel hump Wagyu in the back. Camel hump Wagyu? Is that supposed to be good, Tim?
I've never had it, to be honest. No.
All right. So Tim eats a lot of Wagyu, but he's never had camel hump Wagyu. Mushroom, what's up? Bookies for brunch on Saturday. That would be great. DO7 says, the new picture of Narco is killing me. He looks like he's fighting on the main card with that stance. Boofu says, sent you all a new intro video for Lambo show. Hopefully Narco likes it so he can use it next week. I got to check it out. Thank you very much. Daz, let's go. I want 100% lock winners. Lambo's plus 500. I'm very reasonable after all. Mummy told me. Daz with a $10 dono. Appreciate you, man. You are the absolute legend as well. Thank you very much for the donation. Sharp Boy back in the desert. Let's get them, lads. Jewish better in the house. Coffee Breakfast says, is this just starting or did I miss it? You didn't miss anything if you just came on. So you are right on time. Who else do we have here? Double Flushing, the best hour of the week is here. Appreciate you. Christian Etch says, let's go, boys. Bloom Dog, what's up? Giddy up. Sujit says, do we have a line in the Discord on Saturday? Absolutely. Absolutely. There will be a live. Oreo Bets, what up, man? Almost miss you guys. All right. We got 101 people. Before we start here, small announcement. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I am trying to grow my Instagram following. Please go over there. It's Narcocop MMA on Instagram. You go there, hit the follow button. We do have a little contest we're doing. The directions are in there. Basically, you just follow me. You tag 3 people in the comments of that post, and then each comment gets 1 entry. And then, you know, I'll pick 5 winners. Five people will get a free month in the Discord. They get all the picks. They get all that good stuff. So please go over there, Narcocop MMA on Instagram. Follow, comment with tag 3 people, and we're going to pick 5 winners at the end of the show. So 1 free month in the Discord with the picks and all that good stuff. All right. All that being said, Tim, time to start. First fight of the night. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 21-12 Cody Gibson versus the 15-2 Abdul Hussein. And currently Hussein is minus 550 with the comeback on Gibson at plus 400. What do you got here for us as far as a Lambo?
Yeah, I got round 2, round 3 for Hussein here. I would lean submission, which is sub 2 is plus 950, sub 3 is plus 1700. I do think he could KO him because Cody has just got knocked out in his last fight versus Arichi Lang, and you know, he's 38 years old. So usually when you start taking those knockouts at that age, it doesn't get better. Your chin doesn't get better, and durability don't get better. I think Cody can stay safe in the first round and maybe defend the takedowns in the first round. I think the grappling as he starts to get tired and make some mistakes, similar to the Blackshear fight where he was actually proactively grappling against Blackshear for some stupid reason. I was happy because I had Blackshear by sub, and Blackshear was nowhere near getting him down and kind of getting pieced up in the feet in the first round against him. So Cody can make bad decisions as he gets tired, and I think he's just too old in this fight. Hussein for me is good, really good grappler, really good jiu-jitsu. Only thing that kind of scares me about him is the size in this fight. And yeah, I mean, I think eventually he gets him down. I think eventually he subs him in 2-3. I like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he knocked him out late in the round or late in the fight either. So yeah, 2-3 for me. And then if you want to get a little bit higher numbers, you can go sub 2-3.
Yeah. I kind of feel like, you know, they're setting up Hussein for a nice win here. Cody Gibson, short notice, you know, coming off back-to-back finish losses. You know, he looked pretty good against Blackshear, you know, early on, but like you said, for some stupid reason, he decided to grapple and, you know, put himself in bad positions after that and eventually got subbed. But then last fight, he comes out and, you know, just gets fucking finished right away. I mean, 20 seconds into the fight, he gets finished. Kind of an embarrassing look for him. You know, the guy's never been knocked out before in 30-plus fights, and now all of a sudden he gets one punched by Arichi Lang and just gets flatlined. Obviously, his chin is probably faltering here a little bit. He's facing a guy in Abdul Hussein who was known as a really, really good grappler, but he has improved his striking so much, man. His boxing is really good. Everything about his kicking game, everything about his striking game looks really good. He switches stances. He's very fluid. He doesn't get hit a lot as well, which I like a lot. And then he's a really, really good grappler, man. When you go back and watch the Mokaev fight years ago, we're talking about years ago, it's a back and forth grapple fest. You know, he takes Mokaev down. He switches on Mokaev multiple times. He's just a really, really good grappler. And I feel like, you know, Cody might come out striking a little bit, but I think he's going to feel uncomfortable in the striking because Hussein's going to be faster than him. He's going to be, you know, taking very good angles like he usually does, switching stances. And I think he's going to make Cody eventually shoot and try to grapple. You know, I'm going to go with just sub 2-3. You get sub 2, I think it's 10-1 on Bet Online. Sub 3 is 22-1, I believe, on Bet Online. Those are the best prices as far as I've seen. I think he's going to sub Cody because Hussein has very, very good front chokes, man. Really good. And the one thing with Cody is he's consistently getting subbed by guillotines, not the one against Blackshear, but all his other ones were guillotine subs, So I think Abdul Hussein's going to get him. I think Abdul Hussein's actually a really good prospect. One thing that I still don't understand, and it just doesn't make sense to me when I watch the Season of Tough this year, is how did this guy get cut? One of the first cuts from that roster. I just don't understand. This guy's good everywhere. The only logical reason I think is that he was so good when they were practicing. They're like, listen, let's just get this guy in the UFC right now. Don't make him go through tough. We got an Abu Dhabi card coming, right? This guy is, from that region. I think he's Palestinian, if I'm not mistaken, his originality. I know he's from Finland, but I think he's Palestinian. They're like, let's put him on the Abu Dhabi card. That's the only thing that makes sense, because when you watch his tape, there's no way this guy should have been cut from tough. Like, there's just no chance, right? So I think that's what happened. He was just so good. They're like, forget this. Why are we even putting him through tough? This guy's he's UFC ready right now, So, yeah, I like 2-3 as well, but I like the sub. I think he's going to sub Cody. He could definitely knock him out. I mean, he just knocked out Tyson Nam, who's pretty damn fucking durable, and he just put him out with one punch. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's move on. Fight number 2. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 12-3 Mike Davis versus the 11-0 Narulo Aliev. And currently Aliev is a minus 220 favorite with the comeback on Mike Davis at plus 185. I will kick this one off. I mean, I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. Like, everybody knows about Mike Davis's problems. He's got, multiple immune system deficiencies as far as diseases, 2 of them. He's losing a lot of weight. He can't keep muscle on, all this other stuff, it's just out there, and he didn't look great against ZM. He pulled guard 3 times in round 1. I think he was hurt going into that fight, like some kind of lower leg injury. I was assuming, because when you watch him shoot the first shot, like he couldn't even shoot. Like, he just literally went to his back because something was hurting him, But even in that fight, man, like, being compromised, being whatever you want to call him, and ZM is a pretty good grappler. Mike Davis put him in some fucking dangerous spots, being as injured as he was. He's going to be the slightly bigger guy here. He's the better striker for sure. No doubt about it. He's got better jiu-jitsu, no doubt about it. The only thing Aliev is obviously the age. He's younger. He's not compromised, of late. The guy's just healthy, 25-year-old, undefeated. He can wrestle his ass off, right? His cardio's pretty good. I'll preface by saying his cardio is pretty good. Then the reason why I say that is because when you watch the fights that he's winning, he lost round 3 against Joe Solecki. He got mounted. He got mounted against Shamrock in round 3, after beating Shamrock's ass for 2 rounds. And then, he put himself in a deep submission later in the fight against Alves as well. Like, he was in a mounted guillotine. I believe it was end of round 2. This guy's put himself in submissions. Even if you go back to the regional tape, he put himself in a triangle against, I think it was this guy Kirill Krukov. He put him in a deep triangle, and the concerns are there with this guy sticking his head in guillotines, triangles. I feel like on the feet, Davis is the better striker. I feel like Narulo Aliev is going to wrestle here. He's going to take Davis down, and I think Davis is going to threaten him with submissions, whether it's heel hooks, knee bars, triangles, all types of shit. I played Davis plus 900 by sub. I just think, knowing what I know about Aliev, and he's going to grapple, and knowing how good Davis is on the mat with his submissions and dangerous he is, I just had to stab 900, and I'm going to also say that I think this line's a little bit too wide, man. Like, just what if Davis is in good spirits? He's not feeling ill. He's not, he's in good shape. He's everything. There's no way this line's going to be right if that's the case. There's no way. Like, I probably would lean Davis on the money line, like being a favorite if he was not compromised here. That's how much I think of Aliev. I mean, he beat Shamrock. Big fucking deal. Shamrock made El Sawadi look like Floyd Mayweather in the last fight. So what does that tell you about how bad Shamrock is, So I don't know. I like the Davis side kind of. I don't know if I can click him, man. It's just such a hard click on the money line. But I'm going to stab the sub at plus 900. Tim?
Yeah, I think we see this fight exactly the same. I had I got AIDS last fight from Aliev versus Shamrock. I had round 2, round 3 props on him, and he was just beating his ass, and then somehow didn't get the finish. So that definitely gave me easy eat level AIDS. Like you said, I'm not going to echo chamber. I kind of see it the exact same way. I don't feel like this line is right. I honestly, even if he's compromised, it's just like, dude, Aliev needs to grapple hard for 15 minutes against a guy who's probably at this point the best counter wrestler and grappler that he's fought. I think it's going to be harder than it seems. The striking, everybody's kind of giving Aliev the striking edge or striking improvement, not edge, from his last couple fights, and it's just like I just don't think he's anywhere close to Davis on the feet, and he's going to need to shoot, and he's going to need to stay safe for 15 minutes. And like you said, calf slicer versus Ziam was fucking nasty. That I just think that Ziam was tough in that situation. I think Aliev's going to get subbed here, to be honest. So yeah, I think potential money line even for Davis is fine, but yeah, give me sub 2-3 is huge as well, man. 27-1, 33-1. Like, you think he's going to potentially have it happen late? Those are massive lines, but I like that it's 10-1 on FanDuel right now for the sub.
Yeah, I mean, like, see, this is the thing. Like, Davis likes that he never pulled guard outside of the one fight. Like, he was compromised, guys. Like, I don't understand where this comes from that he likes to pull guard. He's never pulled guard outside of that fight.
Yeah, guys like Mason Jones weren't getting him down, and like
he doesn't pull. No, he never pull guard. He offensively wrestles and gets people down, but
the only time that he got grapple fucked was up a weight class on short notice versus Gilbert Burns.
Yeah, I mean that was Gilbert Burns
in his prime.
It's like, in his prime, exactly. That was Gilbert Burns 7 years ago.
Yeah,
and he didn't even honestly, he didn't get grapple fucked. He was getting up. But then the in round 2 where he got his back, but Gilbert Burns' jiu-jitsu is incredible. Like, totally. Like Aliev, I didn't even see any. I don't even know if this guy has jiu-jitsu, to be honest. Does he have any subs actually?
I don't think.
I don't even know.
Dude, yeah, I don't think so.
No, zero subs. I don't think this guy even knows what jiu-jitsu is. But yeah, we'll see. Everybody seems to be on Aliev this week. Everybody, dude. I haven't heard a single person on Mike Davis, and that's what makes me want to play him even more. Like, just because no one's giving him a chance this week.
Davis Island, dude, let's do it.
Yeah,
get the drinks out.
Let's move on here. Let's shout out my man Uncle Weezy in the house. Davis is still fast enough, says Brandon's. All right, let's move on. Next fight. It is in the light heavyweight division. It is the 17-10 Brenson Ribeiro versus the 6-0 Magomed Tuchalov. And Tuchalov minus 1,000. Ribeiro plus 700. Tim, what do you got for us here?
I think if you're on Ribeiro, you just take him round 1 at 16-1, or like even honestly KO 1 at like 25 or 30-1, whatever the hell it is. I don't see him having much success outside of round 1. He never does. I like Brent Sparrow is just like an absolute glass cannon and very hittable, horrible takedown defense. And I liked what I saw from Tuchalov. I thought he was pretty well rounded in the tape I saw. It says you said the style as a striker. I saw a bunch of good grappling from him as well, and just dangerous on top when he did get guys down. He is a very competent striker as well, but I saw some solid wrestling and takedowns and ground and pound as well. So I think this fight could be similar to like the Zaynukov fight with Ribeiro, where he just decides that he wants to go sub instead of beat him on the ground. I could see it easily, being a, one shot knockout as well. So I'm going to take a shot at the bigger number because the knockout one in round one is a dog shit number. So Tuchalov sub 1 is plus 950. If it gets out of that, sub 2 is plus 2,700. I don't see this fight hitting round 3 at all.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, I see it kind of the exact same way in the sense that, Tuchalov, excellent striker, honestly, very good striker, mixes in everything. Defensively, he looks pretty sound. He's got good movement. He's got pretty good size. He can grapple as well, like you mentioned. And Ribeiro, the thing with Ribeiro is that he's a killer be killed fighter, man. He just goes in there, chucks big bombs. He doesn't freaking care if you put, King Kong in front of him, right? He's still going to chuck big bombs and try to kill King Kong. That's just how he fights. And it's probably part of the reason that he's still around, to be honest. Like he's not very good. But his fights are all exciting. They're all fucking slinging and banging early on. And then, something happens. He gets clipped or something and he gets finished, But I agree with you. I think Tuchalov, like his KOs, like you said, unplayable. It's like minus 270. The early round 1 is horrible. They're expecting KO. So I'm going to zag when they zig. I'm going to go sub 1. It's plus 1,200.
Oh, nice.
Sub 1.
Where's that at?
That's on Bet Online, believe it or not. And sub 2, I forgot where I saw it, but it's 3,500. I think it was Rivers, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was on Bet Rivers. It's plus 3,500. So I played those two. I think, it's probably KO. Don't get me wrong. It's probably KO because this guy's a really, really good striker. But I don't know. I mean, this guy could just give up. You know what I'm saying? You could just give up the neck, and get sub, at huge prices. So I'm with you there. Again, I think it's probably KO, but I will say Tuchalov needs to be careful in round 1. Like Ribeiro doesn't fuck off, man. Like, I don't know if you saw the Zaynukov fight, but he like dropped Zaynukov to your knee at one point and then landed. Dude, the head kick almost fucking landed. He would have killed him. You get the buzzing going, Tim. Like a bee. All right. Let's move on. Next fight. It is in a lightweight division. It is the 20-6 Ismail Bonfim versus the 11-1-1 Axel Sola. Currently, Sola at minus 220. The comeback on Bonfim at plus 185. I mean, probably the whole world is going to be on this, but round 2, round 3, Axel Sola, I mean, plus 575, plus 850 are the best prices. I mean, it could be sub as well. I think it's KO if it happens, but he's just the guy that will clearly push later in fights. He's got a lot of late finishes, lots of late finishes. And Bonfim, we've seen him crumble. I saw some stuff on Instagram where he said, he wasn't taking his diet. His weight cuts were bad. Last time he passed out. But this guy's 5'8". I mean, he's not like a huge muscular dude. Why is his weight cut so bad? Like, I don't understand. But either way, Sola does have that little cut on under his right eye, but I'm not very concerned, honestly. I think Bonfim, the thing with Bonfim is what I'm concerned about is the speed early on when he's fresh. You know, he's explosive. He hits pretty hard. He throws everything into his shots. And Sola, the one thing with Sola is he's hittable. You know, he's very, very hittable. So it is concerning early on for Sola, but I think Sola can also finish him in round 1. Don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna go with 2-3 because, like, if Ismail doesn't get Sola out of there and he's throwing all this, you know, huge big shots, I think he's gonna gas, and I think Sola also can work him big time in the clinch. Man, he's way bigger, he's way stronger, and he can cook him. I mean, Sola's pretty damn good in the clinch, even in the regional tape. So I think he can absolutely cook Bonfim, similar to what Padilla did to him in the clinch. He fucked him up in the clinch. So knees, elbows, all of that good stuff. Give me round 2, round 3, Tim.
Yeah, we're starting off 4 for 4 on the same ones. We will have some differentiating feels on this, but I just can't get over some of the tape on Bonfim, honestly. Like, this dude wilts in every opportunity that I've taped. Like, he just, I don't know. I just feel like this guy has a lot of quit in him, and I think Axel Sola doesn't have a lot of quit in him. So I'm betting on the guy that's, you know, going to fight through adversity. That beating that Sola took versus Mason Jones still. That was so tilting because we all thought he had the finish in round 3 and thought we cashed big tickets, and ends up going to decision. So that was quite shitty. But yeah, like you said, I think the clinch is going to be where he gets him. Honestly, I think he could get him with maybe like a body kick or something like that as well. But I lean that he's going to fuck him up in the clinch and use, you know, kind of size bully him. I kind of think that that's the way he gets him out. It's possible that it could happen in round 1, but I don't think that I don't think that Axel's like a just like one shot type, you know, power puncher that gets guys out like that. I think he's normally attritionally killing guys. And I think Bonfim's going to have some success early too as well. So I think that that's going to be kind of setting up the round 2, 3 for us.
Yeah. I mean, how else are we going to see this fight? You know, maybe Bonfim hurts him early. I could see that partially, you know, him hurting him early, but people are saying the Sola have staff. I haven't seen that. Where's the staff? What's the rumor of staff? I didn't see anything.
It says Just Win Baby posted about it.
Oh God. Sola had staff last fight. It wasn't last fight, it was 2 fights ago. He had staff 2 fights ago. The one against Reese McKee had a staff right on his chest. You could see it clearly. And he still knocked out Reese McKee in round 3. So I don't know. Did the staff matter? It didn't look like it in that fight. Let's move on. Next fight. It is in the welterweight division. It is the 30-9 Santiago Ponzinibbio versus the 14-3-1 Sam Patterson. Patterson minus 500. Ponzinibbio plus 385. Tim.
Yeah, man, Pons is if this fight was like 2 years ago, this would be a bet on Pons, but he's just done, in my opinion. And I think Patterson's found the right weight class, and I think the chin kind of issues that we saw earlier in his career are kind of not. They're not gone, but I just think that it's kind of been shown that he can take some shots and fight through them. Left-handed God connected huge against him and didn't knock him down or, you know, even close to really even wobble him, and he connected massively in that fight. I think that a lot of people are probably going to be tempted to bet the submission at 3-1 in this fight for Patterson and not go at the, chalky KO line. And normally I would be one of those people that would kind of go at that. I just think that he's going to eventually, kind of stay at range early and stay at distance early with Pons and kind of get him out late with the KO. So just round 2-3 is plus 380 on 2 and plus 1,000 for 3. It took Kevin Holland 3 rounds to get Ponzinibbio out. I don't think that he's like so washed that Sam's going to kill him in round 1. I mean, obviously he could, but I don't think that it's going to be that easy. He's probably going to give him a little bit of respect early and just eventually kind of catch him and go after him. Plus Sam gets to actually go against a guy that he can cut off in the cage, unlike MVP in his last fight. So he'll probably have a lot more urgency once he kind of gets the timing down and gets the range.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one I guess we see a little bit differently, in the sense that I think Patterson's just going to kill him early. The problem with Ponzinibbio is he's too willing to just throw down, man. He's too willing to throw down, and he just doesn't have the chin for it anymore. He's 39 years old. He's getting hurt in every fight. I mean, Carlston Harris, I mean, it was really, really close to being stopped there against Santana. I mean, he was beating the shit out of him in round one. And it's like Sam Patterson. The one thing I've realized now with him is he's really improved his boxing and his defense as well. He's no longer putting his chin up in the air. He's a little bit more defensively sound. He's using his jab, his 1-2, and he has a huge reach advantage, 5-inch reach, 3-inch height. He's going to use the 1-2, and Ponzinibbio doesn't move, dude. He just sits there. The only thing I could say about Ponzinibbio in this fight, if he's smart, if I was his coach, I'd be like, dude, attack Sam's legs. Try to calf kick him. Try to slow him down, where he's stationary more, and maybe you can land something big. But I think he's going to get him out of there round one, to be honest. The problem is, I don't even know if it's going to be KO or sub. I think it could be both. It could be club and sub. I know Ponzinibbio has never been sub, but no one's even attempted a submission against him, believe it or not, in the entire UFC. He's had like a shit ton of fights. Not one submission attempt on Ponzinibbio. Yeah, round one is plus 150. It's not very good, but I truly think Patterson's going to make amends for his last fight. I mean, Michael Page is just a completely different animal, a completely different fight style. Ponzinibbio wants to stand there and bang, and I think that's a bad thing against a big, long guy that has, that's the other thing. I'm shocked at how much power Patterson's producing with these guys. Trey Waters is a very, very tough guy, and he just fucking put him out. Same thing with the other dude. He put him out as well. Like, he's showing big power here when he lands on people. So being 39, he's almost going to be 40. This guy works for the UFC on the Espanol booth and stuff, and he's commentating a lot of these cards, and I think that's his future. Like, I honestly would not be shocked if he got finished here and retired. Ponzinibbio, like, he's been through a lot, man. He had that scare where he almost died or whatever, and then he had to take 2 years off, and he's gone through a lot. And I just kind of think this is a bad matchup. It's at the wrong time for him, and against a big hitter who's younger by like 9 years, who's kind of improving. He's improving. Even though he went for a loss against Michael Page, I still think he's improving, Moving on, next fight. It is in the light heavyweight division. It is the 9-0 Mohammed Saeed versus 22-9-1 Dustin Jacoby. Currently, Dustin Jacoby's minus 170 and a comeback on Saeed at plus 145. So we don't know much about Saeed, right? Like, he looks like a good striker to me. He looks like a great kicker, actually. His kicks are incredible. He's got good movement. He's kind of athletic for a light heavyweight. He's shown he can grapple in one fight. I think it was against the Brazilian where he kicked him and got his back in round 3. He trains out of the Gore MMA, so he has good training partners. He spars Pavlovich. You see it on his IG, sparring Pavlovich. So he's getting good looks in the gym. He's facing a really good veteran in Dustin Jacoby, who's been through it all. But I also think Dustin Jacoby's chin is kind of getting iffy, man. He's getting hurt a lot. He's getting finished. He was dropped a couple of times in the fight against Menefield. I think I had a bet on Menefield in that fight. But he's had a couple of good matchups. Bruno Lopez fight, I think good matchup. Walker, definitely a good matchup. Petrino fight, obviously, that was his best win. But he got hurt bad in that fight as well. And then prior to that, obviously Reyes killed him right away, and then that Minifield loss. I feel like this guy Saeed is kind of similar to Mirzakhanov, but he's a bigger guy, except he has less power in his hands, like a guy, but he moves pretty well, like Mirzakhanov does. The only thing I will say this is very important in this fight. This Mohammed Saeed guy, his gas tank is very, very iffy. It's very, very iffy to me. And he took this fight on short notice. That's the one thing that's concerning. The prices on Jacoby 2-3 are pretty damn good. They're 750 and 1100. I think it's most likely if he gets a finish, it's probably 3, where this guy's very gassed. And Jacoby does have late finishes. He did hurt Mirzakhanov in round 3, but he decided he wanted to wrestle after he hurt him. I'm going to go there, but I think Saeed is live to win this fight, honestly. He's live to win this fight. He's live to bonk Jacoby as well. But I just like those props because I do see a cardio edge here.
Yeah, I thought we were going to be on opposite ones in this one just from Discord, but I'm on Dustin 2-3. I honestly think this Saeed guy is kind of a fraud. We'll see. He looks like a gas bag, and only 2 of his fights are against guys that have wins. Like, he seems to just be getting set up against just absolute cans and crushing them. And the only couple guys that he actually had kind of somewhat challenges with, he didn't look good once he got tired. So I think Dustin's just a way better striker, to be honest. I think he's going to I think he's going to kick this guy's calf early, slow him down, and just start to piece him up with jabs and attritionally kill him. I think it's a good spot for Dustin, to be honest. I really didn't like very much what I saw on Saeed. I can be, been wrong before in these ones. I just didn't. I just think he's kind of been a can crusher, and they just needed a body, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, because when you look, it doesn't show it on his it doesn't show it on his record on Tapology, but this guy had a very good amateur background. I mean, he lost to Kuniev, the heavyweight, in the championship of one of the tournaments he was in, and he has good resume. I mean, in the amateurs, and he's a good striker, man. His kicking game, you cannot take that away. I mean, it's so fast. His head kick is so fucking fast. It's crazy. I don't know. It's a tricky one because we don't really know much about Mohammed Saeed. We don't know much about him, but
yeah, he could. I mean, I think I really
don't think. Here's the thing that I don't think they're just putting a body there for Jacoby, because first of all, he trains in a good gym. Second of all, he is from UAE, like United Arab Emirates. Like, I doubt they're just giving him a body. Like, they usually favor their guys, so why would they set him up to lose?
No, I don't think they're setting him up to. I shouldn't say like that. I think it.
Well, that's what I thought you meant.
What's that?
I thought they were like giving him a body, you said. So I thought you were.
Yeah, I like just more from what you're saying, like more from that area, and you need somebody that's from this area that they can root on. But I think it's like the card that was in Canada, and you get like 3 of the guys that are getting killed, and they just want somebody that they can root for. But I don't think that it's
I mean,
it's just it reminds me of like Dana White Contender Series, like with this guy's record, like his professional record.
Yeah, the problem is you're kind of right. I don't think he's faced good guys at all. He just hasn't. He hasn't faced good guys. But he's kind of like the one fight against the Brazilian. I guess it was kind of, he still won, I think 30-27. But outside of that, like, he's kind of beat up everybody pretty easily. So that's the thing. Like, he's not really. He is can crushing in a sense, but he's not like struggling against them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he's actually doing what he needs to do against these guys. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting because we don't, again, I think this is the first time too. I looked at it. This is the first time Jacoby's ever fought outside the US. I think his very first fight in the UFC outside of the US, and he has a lot of fights in the UFC. All right, let's move on. Next fight, it is in the heavyweight division. It is the 11-4 Thomas Petersen versus the 15-1 Walter Walker. Currently, Walker up to minus, I think it's two. Oh no, he's down minus 185, and the comeback on Petersen at plus 160. I think Tim left. Okay, so I'll kick this one off. I honestly don't like how Thomas Petersen reacts to getting punched. I really don't like it. I think Walter Walker, you could say what you want about him. He's a heel hook merchant stuff. He has power in his hands. He hurt Kennedy early, very fast. We've seen Petersen get knocked out before a couple of times. I mean, I know everybody's going to want to play sub or Thomas Petersen money line. I'm going to go with the KO on Walter Walker here. Like, it's plus 621 on Bet 105. That's, I think, the best price out there. You can get like 600. I just think the market has gone so heavy towards sub on him that they're giving us a pretty good line on KO, man. This is still heavyweights at the end of the day. Thomas Petersen is still kind of chinny at the end of the day. And let's just say Walter gets on top and just, can he not ground and pound Thomas Petersen? Tim?
I think if he gets Petersen down, I think Petersen's ability to wrestle up and get himself up off of the ground is significantly better than Walker's ability to get up off the ground. And if Walker if Walker tries to go for a heel hook and doesn't get it, and then he gets Thomas Petersen on top of him, I just think that this is going to go pretty bad for him. To me, I think Petersen's a better wrestler. I think Petersen's a better striker. I think Walker needs to get him down early in this fight. I think Petersen also has better gas than Walker does. And I just see some massive lines on 2-3 in a heavyweight fight where it's like Petersen round 2 is plus 1,300. Round 3 is plus 1,700. And the first whisper bet of the night, sub 2 plus 5,000, sub 3 plus 7,000. I think it could be an arm triangle. I think it could be something like that if he gets on top. I would lean ground and pound for a finish, but I think 50-1 and 70-1 on 2-3 for Petersen by sub are massive whisper bets that you got to sprinkle a little bit on.
He almost finished Guillermo Pat last time, but I think it was ground and pound, right? He likes the ground. He does like the ground.
He should. That fight should have been stopped like 3 times. Yeah,
he does like the ground and pound for sure.
He's had subs too. Like he's had sub attempts too, where he's had was it against Mays? I think he had a couple of
I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure he had a couple against Mays that were close.
Yeah, one sub attempt against Mays. How did he not sub Mays? Mays stinks.
It was insane.
But yeah, I mean, Walter Walker, I guess he's never been taken down. I mean, none of these guys are actually going to grapple him. Why would they grapple him?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think if it stays, I mean, what would you say if this fight stays in the feet for 15 minutes? I know obviously you think that he's going to KO him, but don't you think
I kind of lean? You want to laugh? I lean Walker because I think he's I think he's way more durable than Petersen. I think he could take a shot way better than Petersen. And at the end of the day, he's going to be massive compared to Petersen, bro.
I mean, Petrino was hitting Petersen hard until round 3. Like he connected a bunch of times on him hard. And then the other one is like, what is it?
How did he die with one punch to Shamil? Like absolutely died.
But that's kind of what Shamil can do that to guys though. Like he just,
I agree with you in a sense. Like his chin is weird, I guess, right? We can call it weird. But like Walter's huge. And I mean, he hurt Kennedy. Kennedy's normally very durable, like on the feet. He doesn't really.
Yeah, I also think that the Kennedy one was kind of
He got
like
overwhelmed.
well, I think that Kennedy was like absolutely shitting his pants about takedown defense and just,
Well,
like,
I mean, Thomas Petersen has to shit his pants as well. He doesn't
I
want to
don't
get
think
taken down.
I don't think that he's like the same situation where Kennedy, where the floor is lava though. Like, I might be wrong. Like, I think he has to have better. I think he has to have better wrestling and better jiu-jitsu than
down, Thomas Peter. Oh yeah, he did. Petrino took him down.
Than everybody that Walker's faced. Like, Walker's getting like Tafa, Kennedy.
Yeah, but bro,
Louis.
man, Walker. Here's the thing with Walker is he's massive. So if he grabs a hold of him, like on the fence, he could trip him down. He could trip him down. I'm not saying Walker's gonna double leg him or something, but I think if he gets he's so big.
Yeah.
That if he gets like his hands clenched, he could go for like a trip takedown easily. Because Petersen at the end of the day is clumsy, bro. He's not like athletic and shit. He's pretty fucking clumsy. So I don't know. It's a weird fight. Like, I don't have a bet on this fight, but I don't understand the love for Thomas Petersen. I think this guy stinks. Like, I get that they're trying to fade Walker because he's been a heel hook merchant the last 4 fights, but do we really know if his cardio is that bad?
I mean, he in multiple fights in regionals, he gassed out, and then Bresky, he gassed out bad.
I agree, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he was in much worse shape than he is now. Like,
for sure. Before Bresky,
he's definitely on either good stuff or he's just taking it way seriously. Like, he's 20 pounds less every fight, than he used to. So that's a lot of weight. It's a lot of extra weight that he was carrying, Whether that's going to help his cardio, I don't know. That's a guess. I'm guessing that being 20 pounds less might help his cardio, but who knows? I might be wrong.
That first like exchange in a clinch and like seeing who's able to kind of reverse the positions and things like that. And it's going to be really interesting for me live.
But maybe Walter even accepts getting taken down. Who knows? Like, maybe he's like, okay, cool. Now I can just like, I can invert to like a heel, try to grab an ankle. And then, I don't know. Maybe he's okay with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's where I think this fight is the most dangerous for him to do that in every fight that he's gone for so far.
I mean, do we know that for sure?
I just think that
do we know if Thomas Petersen can defend these submission attempts?
We don't know that he can defend heel hooks, but we know that he's a better wrestler than those guys, and we know that he's positionally more dangerous on top.
I mean, honestly, I think he's very similar to the last guy,
Louis Sutherland.
Yes.
Oh, I think he's way better than him.
I mean, he's a better probably wrestler, yes, but I don't think he's a better fighter than Louis Sutherland. Honestly, I would take Louis Sutherland over this guy. I honestly would. I think he's much better striker than Petersen is, and he has way more power than Petersen. So I don't know. It's a weird matchup. And then like you go see Louis Sutherland and what he did to Tai Tuivasa. He clinicked him with the grappling, with the wrestling, So, and Tuivasa historically kind of hard to hold down, but Louis Sutherland all of a sudden put a wrestling clinic on him, It's weird. Anyway, let's move on. It's enough about this fight. Next fight, it is in a welterweight division. It is the 22-3 Sagid Izagakhmaev versus the 24-4 Abubakar Vagaev. And currently, I think this line's it's minus 235 with the comeback of plus 200 on Sagid. You can kick this one off. I did the last one.
So I think that Sagid is, I don't know. I think you're paying a major like Khabib camp tax on an EV guy here and a Russian in his last few fights, or his last fight with Dalby. And I just wasn't like super impressed when I watched back the tape on that fight, as well as some of his regional tape. Especially in this particular matchup, like, I don't know. I think that Vagaev to me is like a really, really well-rounded fighter, can strike, can grapple really, really well, knows how to stay safe on top, knows how to advance positions, but stay very, very position over submission in his fights. And I think he's a better striker here, minus durability on the feet. He can get cracked on the feet and has shown that's kind of the only vulnerability in his fights or in his style for me. And I think he's got great cardio. He's gone 5 rounds multiple times. And he's fighting against guys that know how to wrestle and grapple as well. So Sagid's just doesn't have the ability to get his game off and try to grapple fuck in this situation or clinch and do damage. Like, I think he's going to be beaten in grappling scenarios a bunch. And this is going to be back and forth. Maybe more back and forth a little bit on the feet, but I would even lean Vagaev, honestly, a pretty decent amount on the feet if it stayed on the feet. I don't think it will. I think Vagaev is going to take him down and rinse and repeat takedowns until Sagid gasses. And for me, Vagaev round 2 is plus 1100. I know everybody's like, he doesn't finish anybody. And I just think that he's fighting a lot of guys that he's just trying to get to the point that he's at right now, where he's in the UFC. I think he's going to try to shine out, get a finish bonus, show the UFC where, what level he is. And the gas tank for Sagid is really not good in my opinion. And so yes, round 2 is plus 1100. Round 3 is plus 1800. I don't hate sub 2-3 is plus 2500, plus 4000, but I kind of think it's going to be ground and pound, or even just a late standing KO if he tires him out.
Yeah, this one's very, very hard to play. Vagaev 2-3, just because I know both these guys pretty well, but I know Vagaev very well from ACA. First of all, when he gets on top, he doesn't throw a ton of ground and pound. He's more position over submission. He doesn't want his guys to get up. So he's your typical ACA guy that really doesn't want to inflict damage or look for submissions, right? He just wants to control you. He's an excellent wrestler. He's got excellent cardio. He's got solid striking. His striking is actually solid. However, I think Sagid is the better striker of these two. I think Sagid is longer and he hits harder than Vagaev. So I don't think he's going to mess around in the striking much, to be honest. I think he's going to wrestle Sagid, because Sagid, if you wrestle him, he's going to gas bad. I'm telling you, he gasses bad. And the only reason I want to play the 2-3 that you stated is not because I think Vagaev is some finisher. I really don't think this guy's a big finisher, but because Sagid is such a gasser and he took this fight on short notice. That's the other thing. That's the other thing that made me want to play these 2-3s on Vagaev, is because short notice, and he's already a gasser, and I know it. And I know he gasses when there's a ton of grappling. That really messes him up. If you go watch the Dalby fight, what really gassed him? It was all the clinching and the wrestling that happened in rounds 2 and 3. He absolutely gassed because of that, right? I know Dalby is, he's a veteran, he's good, but he's not that good of a grappler. He's 40+ years old. I mean, it's an embarrassment. It was a setup fight for Sagid to win, and he just loses the entire fight. And not only does he look good, he loses. I think Vagaev is the much better overall fighter, in the sense that he can control where the fight happens. If he's not feeling comfortable on the feet, he can get takedowns, and he's got the way better cardio. And he was getting ready for Gasanov here. Gasanov is sick. Another sick grappler. It was going to be grappler against grappler. A sick fight, but Gasanov, I don't know, he got hurt or something happened. And then now Sagid took over the fight. So yeah, I mean, 2-3, I mean, 11 and 18. I don't think it happens in 2 at all. I think it's probably more 3, but it's the only play you can probably make. I mean, his decision line's got to be shit. What is this?
It's horrible. Yeah, it's horrible.
Minus 135. That's what I thought. He's a decision machine, but at the end of the day, though, this guy's going to win a lot of fights just by his wrestling, man. He's very, very good. And the other thing I want to say is this is one of Chimaev's best friend. They grapple, they train together a lot. This Vagaev guy. So that's Chimaev's like really good friend. And there's a lot of Instagram posts with them wrestling, and you could see they're back and forth. Like they're both really good. So let's move on. Next fight. It is in the heavyweight division. It is the 18-3 Tyrell Fortune versus the 14-3-1 Rizvan Kuniev. And currently Kuniev is minus 335. Comeback on Fortune plus 275. I kind of think this fight's closer than this line, man. I don't care what anybody tells me. Like I've been hearing Kuniev easy, Kuniev this, Kuniev that. He looked like dog shit in his win against fucking Almeida. You go back and watch that tape, and you can't tell me that Kuniev looked good there, man. He got outstruck at distance by Almeida. It's embarrassing. He didn't even want to strike, bro. He did not want to strike with Almeida, out of all people. He wanted to clinch him, hold him on the fence, knee his legs, punch him in the stomach, and that's it. Just cage push and clinch and do nothing, basically. He won the fight. That's fine. But like I think Fortune is a better striker than a guy like Almeida, to be honest. He's probably a better wrestler than a guy like Almeida as well, like straight up wrestling. I don't know. I kind of think this line's a little too big on Kuniev, minus 335. Probably he wins this fight. I think it's a lot closer than the line indicates, to be honest. I'm gonna go with the end split at plus 650. I see Tyrell competing, man. The one thing only with Tyrell that bothers me is I think his cardio is a little bit weird. He tends to slow down, but I don't think Rizvan's cardio is good. Well, what did he do last fight? Looked awful in round 3. He's fucking pushing. That's all he did the entire fight was cage pushing. He was still tired in round 3. So after he's been off the sauce, like PFL, I don't think this guy's cardio has been the same. Everybody's going to talk about the Blades fight. Look what he did. He should have won the Blade. Blades fucking tore his MCL in round 1. He was fighting on one leg in that fight. So I don't know about this Kuniev guy, man. I really don't. I think he's got skills for a heavyweight, but he just doesn't put it together for me. Tim?
Yeah, I'm 1-1 in betting props with Kuniev. I got decision on Blades, so I think I got a little bit lucky on that one. And then I had sub for Almeida versus him, and I just thought that game plan for Jailton was hilarious. I think that the strategy that you're talking about and the choice that he made instead of kind of staying at range is similar to what we were talking earlier about, just like, Kennedy worrying about the takedowns and then getting hit by Walter Walker. Like I think the clinching up Jailton takes away, like, Jailton's favorite like takedown pattern is he throws a head kick and then he instantly shoots a double leg, like just like power doubles you and then picks you up and slams you. So like I just think that he's actually kind of dangerous at range for his takedowns, which is kind of weird, but like he just explodes into them after a kick, and he did basically the same thing to get almost every one of his takedowns in a lot of the fights. The only ones that he didn't have success with that was versus Kuniev and versus Blades. He had success versus Blades in the first round and then didn't have success in the second. Fortune for me, you hit the nail on the head for me with Fortune. Like I think he's a good wrestler. I think he's very strong and athletic. I think he's got quick hands. But the problem I see is just he tires out and he looks kind of like wilty when things don't go his way. Like if he's kind of good hammer, bad nail situation to me. And I'm not super confident in this pick, but I'll take a shot on the late round props for Kuniev. I don't think, like you said, I don't think that his gas tank is great either, but this is a sloppy heavyweight fight. And I think the guy who has more quit in him in this fight is Fortune. So I'll take 2-3 plus 650 plus 900 for Kuniev. Not a lot of confidence in it though.
Yeah, I mean, he probably has a better gas tank. I don't know. I mean, Fortune's last fight was on very short notice against Tybura, and he kind of gassed in round 3. I don't think he was like severely gassed, but definitely slowed down. And then the other thing is, I don't know if he's going to be able to land takedowns against Kuniev easily. You know, it's going to be tough. Let's move on. Next fight. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 10-0 Damian Rzepecki versus the 8-0 Magomed Zaynukov. Currently, Zaynukov minus 275. To come back on Rzepecki at plus 235. Tim?
I'll defer to you, man. I know that you have some strong takes on this one. I'll defer to you on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a great fight, honestly. For one, I think both these fighters are really good. I think both these fighters are going to get a lot of wins in the UFC. Damian Rzepecki, only 24, the younger of the two, but has a little bit more experience in the pro ranks. He's a switch stance fighter. He fights out of both stances. He's a Muay Thai striker, but he can kind of do it all. You know, I think he's either a black belt, or I want to say either a black or brown belt in jiu-jitsu. I think he's black, though. He's pretty dangerous with his submissions. I love how he switches stances and strikes. He mixes up head, body, legs. There's not one part of the body that he doesn't attack. And he has all the weapons, which is what I like. Like in the clinch, he's got nasty knees, nasty elbows. In space, he'll kick the inside of your leg. He'll kick the outside of your leg. He'll throw step-in knees. They'll throw head kicks. So he's got like every weapon imaginable. He throws it, and he takes really good angles when he's coming in. You know, switching stances. He's excellent with his striking. I really, really like it. The biggest issue I would say with Rzepecki is the fact that, one, he's still young, 24, but two, his defense is a little lacking. You know, he got hurt in one of the fights versus let me tell you who it was. It was the Georgian kid that he fought. He got hurt in that fight. But then, you know, he's got good fight IQ, because when he got hurt, he kind of moved away. This Epsiode guy came rushing in, and he just double-legged him into a takedown. You know, so it was good fight IQ. It was a good recoverability. And he's facing a guy in Zaynukov who's also really good when it comes to striking. You know, excellent striking skills, very fast. I think the one thing that does stick out here is that Zaynukov is going to have a speed advantage. I think he's the faster of the two. But I think Damian holds a volume advantage. I think Damian holds a cardio edge here. Damian's going to be, I don't think Zaynukov, by the way, either Zaynukov is not 5'10" or Damian is not 5'10", because Damian's going to be taller, in my opinion, by a couple of inches. And he has a nice 5.5 inch reach advantage here. The one thing with Zaynukov is, you know, he is a Khabib guy. You would think he can wrestle. You know, he's probably a decent wrestler. But what I've seen on tape from this guy is that when he gets takedowns, he wants nothing to do with the ground. So many times, it's like some guy is trying to like put his leg on the hips and stuff. Zaynukov just stands up and lets him up. Like multiple times in different fights, he's done that. So he doesn't really want to grapple, it seems like. He does not. He wants to fight standing, obviously, for obvious reasons, because he's a really, really good striker. He's kind of like the Nurmagomedovs when it comes to the kicks. Not Khabib, but the other ones like Umar, and they love those front kicks and those. He loves those front kicks, those front teeps and push kicks. He uses them a lot. He's got good hands, good hand speed. He mixes in combos, so he's really good. But he's also hittable. You know, you go back to the Dana White's Contender Series fight. He got dropped in round 1 against Caldas. He got hurt in round 3 against Caldas, right? Caldas is not looking good. He's lost 2 in a row after that. Like, he's not a good fighter, you know? So the thing to me is, like, Zaynukov looks like he slows down in fights, man. He's got his mouth open. You know, you do not want to slow down against the butcher, right? There's a reason why they call this guy the butcher, Tim, because he butchers you, bro. He's going everywhere, legs, body, head. You know, he was Toporia's main training partner for his last fight. The guy's been training with the best people at Killcliff on and off. You know, he's really good. I don't understand minus 275. I don't understand these lines on Zaynukov. It's just his, you know, he's the known guy, right? He's the known guy. He's the Khabib guy. He's got the OV in the last name, and he's John Pork, right? Everybody knows John Pork. He could be blew up, right? Nobody knows who the fuck Rzepecki is. He's coming in on short notice, like 2 weeks, right? No one knows who the fuck this guy is. He's fought on FEN, which is not even a big promotion in Poland. It's like the third best or whatever in Poland. So no one even knows who this fucking guy is. But when you run the tape, man, I'm very, very impressed with Rzepecki, man. And if Zaynukov doesn't knock him out early, this is going to be an absolute fucking dogfight, man. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be an absolute dogfight if Zaynukov doesn't get him out of there early, because it's not going to be an easy day in the office, in my opinion. So, yeah, I don't understand this line. I'm going to take a shot on 2-3 on Rzepecki. It's 15-1. It's 22-1. I know that this is a step up in competition. I understand that. But just look at this guy's. He is fucking butchering everybody late, man. Look at all the finishes, Tim. Round 2, round 3, round 3, round 2, round 2, round 2, round 2, round 3. What does that tell you? He's breaking people, man. He's incredible with this volume and pace. So, you know, maybe Zaynukov finds an early KO and hurts Rzepecki and finishes him. It's possible. Zaynukov is a great striker. If you tell me who's the better striker, it's Zaynukov when it comes to you know, like actual striking technique and stuff. But man, I like Rzepecki's weapons, man. He's got way more weapons than Zaynukov.
Yeah, man, I don't have much to add. I think that's a great breakdown. I just, you know, if I have to hear John Pork another time this week, I might blow my fucking head off. This whole thing. This is just, I don't know. To me, it just seems like, I think he's a good fighter and he's got skills, clearly, but like, I just think this is just a classic hype job a lot of times. And I think, I'm not saying he's a fraud or anything like that. I just think it's just you're paying like at least $1 more than you should in this fight. Like 175, like I get that. Like I would think that that's kind of like 160 to minus 175 for him in this fight, for being definitely like a more technical striker and having a speed advantage and having like a decent size strength of schedule advantage on him. I think you could get to like minus 160, minus 175 here, but when you're saying no, like, I don't think that he has grappling advantages. This is going to be striker based, you know, a striker versus striker, most likely. I think if anybody gets on top and does anything with it, like you said, it's Rzepecki. For me, I don't think it's a sub for Rzepecki. I think Zaynukov is, you know, he's probably just the amount of grappling sequences and defensive grappling sequences that he's getting in his camp is probably just insane, and they know the assignment at a lot of these fights. So I ended up going with KO for Damian. KO is plus 1,200 and KO2 is plus 3,000. KO3 is plus 4,500. I think if he gets him out in round 2-3, I think it's going to be a KO. I don't think it's going to be a sub. So I'm going to go KO alone. And I honestly do think round 1 is possible as well. Like you said, he got dropped in round 1 versus, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was not good in my opinion. In Dana White Contender Series.
Lucas Caldas.
Okay. Yeah. I really didn't think that guy was very good at all. And kind of seemed like a setup spot because they wanted Zaynukov in the UFC. So yeah, for me, KO 12-1 and KO 2-3 plus 3,000 plus 4,500 for some massive lines.
Yeah, I mean, listen, win or lose for Rzepecki, to be honest, I'm high on this kid regardless. Like I don't care what happens in this fight. You know, he could get KO'd in round 1. What I saw on tape, I think this guy has a really, really good future in the UFC, and Zaynukov does as well. I don't think Zaynukov is a fraud or anything. Both these guys are really, really good. Let's move on here. There we are. Back in the welterweight division, it is the 18-8 Wellington Thurman versus the 12-1 Islam Dulatov. Dulatov minus 1,000 in a comeback on Wellington Thurman at plus 675. I think you can kick this one off here. I did the last one, so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're on Thurman, you have to do round 2, round 3, plus 3,000, plus 4,500. And just banking on Dulatov gassing at some point. I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest. Thurman is very hittable, very slow on the feet, and has durability issues. The fade with Dulatov will be glorious, and it probably will happen in the next few fights, but it can't be. I don't think it's going to be Beef Wellington here. I don't think he's going to be able to get takedowns. I don't think he's going to. I honestly think it's probably going to be like Wellington, like running face first into like an elbow or something like that. You know, just something where he just has no defense and tries to crash the pocket and just gets nuked. Yeah, the most likely one is not a great line, but it's like Dulatov and under a half a round is plus 185. I think you're taking a minus 1,000 and getting plus 185. I think it's probably, going to be kind of close, but I think you could nuke him in the first minute or two in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, 2.5 years layoff. I mean, his chin is very iffy, Wellington Thurman. Honestly, he looked good in his last 2 fights. I think Randy Brown fight, he looked good. I think he looked good in the Gordon fight before he got fucking hurt and subbed. But like he's facing a younger guy, even a longer guy, a guy that hits very, very hard, is super dangerous early, very explosive. It's like bad news in a sense for Thurman. Thurman needs to get takedowns. And from what I've seen from Dulatov, like his takedown defense is, I don't want to say it's the best, but he looks strong. He's like wiry strong, tall and strong. And I think even if Thurman maybe gets him down early, I think he's going to pop right back up. And then Thurman's going to have to deal with the fucking striking. He's a better striker than Thurman. He's got a lot of weapons on the feet. And Thurman's chin, the other thing that's big concerning, Thurman is already kind of chinny. His chin is not great. But then you got to add in the ring rust. When you talk about ring rust, we're talking about the first round in the fight. That's when the most ring rust occurs, because you're kind of like assimilating yourself to fighting again in the ring. And it may take him around to kind of get going, right? To get the ring rust away or something, right? Well, the problem is that's fucking Dulatov's best round. You cannot have ring rust in that round. And I think it's going to be a big issue for him, dude. Like, it's just, I wanted to look for a way I could play Thurman. I'm like, man, well, I don't know much about this Dulatov guy. Maybe he gets taken down. Maybe his jiu-jitsu is not great and Thurman can get him. Thurman's a black belt. He has good grappling. But like, the more I look at it, it's like, man, they're setting up Thurman to get killed. Honestly, well, like, what is this? This guy's 2.5 year layoff. This is the fight they give him. Like, here you go. You're off a shoulder injury. Go fight Dulatov in the Middle East. Great. You know what I'm saying?
Dulatov has those hips that got strengthened from the catwalk, man. Dude's like a fucking model.
I mean, he's got twig legs though, bro. Those legs. I mean, he makes Randy Brown look like he's got tree trunks, bro. This guy's legs, they're terrible. And that's the other thing. I think Thurman should be calf kicking this dude. This guy's legs are, I mean, horribly small. And compared to his upper body, he's got like muscular and wide. This guy did not do a single day of legs in the gym at all. He skipped leg day every week. He's like, leg day Wednesday? Nope.
He's got that prison form, dude. He's got that prison body.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, you can get Dulatov KO1 plus 118. It's way off market on Bet Rivers. I don't know if it's still there, but I went to the casino and because I can't get anything online, but I think it's still there. I bet it in the casino for small, but oh, it's gone now. Is it gone? No, it's still there. It's still there. Plus 118. It's way off. I mean, the second best price is FanDuel at plus minus 110. So you're getting 28 cents difference right there. And if you look at like other books, like BetOnline's 140, DraftKings is 160 minus. So you're getting
that's
almost
better than under a half a round at plus 185.
Huh?
I think that's that's much better.
Plus 118 is better than under half round for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have that. You get the entire round, you know.
Yep.
All right. I mean, not much else with this fight. Let's move on. Next fight, it is the co-main event, and it is in the flyweight division. It is the 14-4 Steve Erceg versus the 19-2 Ramazan Tamerov. And currently Tamerov actually minus 124. It's a little bit different, but minus 124 with the comeback on Erceg at plus 104. I think it's me here. I think this is a great pre-fight bet on Tamerov and a live spot potentially on Erceg. Erceg, I mentioned this in my breakdown. He's won 2 round ones in the UFC. Alessandro Costa, Matt Schnell. Every single other fight in the UFC, he's dropped round 1. He's either gotten finished or he's dropped round 1. Tamerov, the exact opposite. He wins every single round 1. And this is going back to the regionals. He's won like every single round 1. It's insane. So this guy is a front runner. Like there's no doubt about it. You know, PEDs, no PEDs. I don't think he's going to change. He's a front runner. Not to mention, I think if you bet Tamerov pre-fight, you get that early finish equity too, you know, because Erceg could get finished. Like if you bet him now pre-fight, he could literally get finished in round 1. And now you can't even live bet. You can't do anything, right? But I think if you bet Tamerov, you kind of get the early finishing equity. And then you get to see, you know, how successful or how unsuccessful he was, let's say in round 1, and potentially bet Steve Erceg at a much better number, in my opinion. I know Steve Erceg is going to get clipped in round 1 at some point. You know, whether he gets hurt, he doesn't get hurt, I don't know. His chin is very dodgy, man. It's a very, very dodgy chin. Tamerov hits very, very hard. I know he's at a huge reach disadvantage and stuff like that, but he makes up for it with his like weird, you know, right to left and swinging big fucking loopy punches, and he kind of closes the distance somehow that way. I'm gonna go sneaky Tamerov decision plus 340. I think he can win rounds 1 and 2, honestly, against Erceg, and potentially squeak a decision, you know, kind of survive in round 3, similar to what he did against Johnson. Yeah, I mean, Erceg is not like the best decision guy. He's 6-3 in his career in decisions. Tamerov is 7-1 in decisions. So he's shown that he can win decisions. You know what I'm saying? I think he's more explosive than Steve. I think if anybody's going to get takedowns, it's probably Tamerov, honestly, especially early, you know, but yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with decision at plus 340 on Tamerov here. Tim?
I've been going back and forth. I had like 7 different props on this one. This is always a good sign, but I'm not going to say them all. But like, that's a sign for me when I'm just like, I can't bet this fight. So I can see this fight going so many different ways. Like you said, I think Tamerov round 1 is at a pretty decent clip. I think Erceg round 3 is at a pretty decent clip. And I think round 2 is just, I have no idea, to be honest. I could see Tamerov knocking him out in round 1. I had Kai Kara France by knockout versus Erceg for kind of the same read, watching him get hurt in a lot of his fights. And kind of similar to what you said about the decision for Temerov is Usyk won a couple fights where like he was losing, like the Dvorak fight, like he was losing the fight and then he had like a massive moment and he stole rounds. So it's not like he's like, I think he's got to fight a very, very clean fight for 3 rounds to not get knocked out. And, you know, it's not going to just be easy to just jab Temerov without him coming in wildly and just, you know, doing his shots. I'm going to go with end split at plus 450. Like, I think this is like a classic minutes moments fight. And I think Usyk could be outlanding him 1.5 or even 2-1 and be bloodied up by the shots. And you just look at his face and you look at the big shots and you just say, you know, either one of these guys could have won this fight. So I ended up on end split at plus 450 because, you know, when you got 7 props, I think that's the one you go with.
Yeah, and it's very, very possible. All right, let's move on. It is the main event of the night. Before we move on to the main event, please hit the like, subscribe to the channel, comment, whatever you want to do it in there. Appreciate you guys. 405 live viewers. All right, we go right into the main event here, Tim. In the main event, in the light heavyweight division, it is the 18-3-1 Bogdan Guskov versus the 21-2-1 Magomed Ankalaev. And currently, Ankalaev is minus 600 with the comeback on Guskov at plus 425. Tim, this one's yours. Main event time.
So Guskov is kind of killed me in some fights. I had a massive cash with Volkan Oezdemir versus him, but every other one I've lost against him because I thought other fighters would kind of take the same path if Volkan is subbing you. Volkan was like, I can't remember, but it was like 15 or 17-1 on him by sub in that fight. Something massive. And I just think that Ankalaev is just elite and boring as shit a lot of times. Defensively responsible, just an absolutely skilled fighter everywhere the fight goes. I think he's got Guskov covered everywhere except for just one-shot power. I think he needs to worry about the straight right coming down the pipe and that kind of like counter, like just the playing with the hand with the left hook on Guskov. He kind of like swings it around and kind of distracts you and kind of like tries to play with your hand and catches you with a hook and then comes over the top with the right a lot. And, you know, Ankalaev for me, could he grapple here? I've said it in like almost every one of his fights that he has grappling edge, like, and he doesn't grapple. So, I mean, I think it's possible that he grapples here, but the subline is disgusting. I kind of think that what happens in this fight is Ankalaev tries to stay kind of safer in the first 2 rounds when Guskov is attacking as hard as he normally does and tries to kind of calf kick and just stay at range and try to piece him up with jabs and things like that, stay defensively responsible and let him kind of tire himself out like he normally does. Guskov versus Jan looked pretty tired in round 3, survived, and you know that was a draw. But I'm going to go 4-5 decision for Ankalaev. If you combine them together, it's plus 240. If you do them individually, it's plus 1,200 for 4, plus 1,800 for 5, and decision is plus 460. Could see a 3, but I'm gonna say that he survives 3 and he kills him late.
Yeah, I mean, Bogdan is taking the fight on short notice, but not really, I guess. I mean, he was
preparing. How many weeks, right?
Well, no, it's because you know he was preparing for a fight
for Jan. But in how many weeks though is that fight?
It's in next week.
Is it? Oh, okay, so it's really
August 1st. It was literally August 1st. So they just moved them up 1 week. You know what I'm saying? And then I think that was the main event as well. So he's training for a 5-rounder against Jan. I don't think it matters, to be honest. I don't think this guy's made to go 5 rounds. Like he just you look at the last fight where he hurt Jan very bad in round 2 and then looked like shit in round 3. He was absolutely gassed in round 3. Ankalaev has good cardio. You know, he can go 5 rounds easily. I think he's gonna grapple here. Like I'm very, very confident he grapples in this fight. Bogdan has shown actually pretty good outside of the Ozdemir fight. He's shown actually pretty good submission defense. Like he kind of knows what he's doing. He kind of knows, but kind of doesn't at times. Like kind of Alakana almost got him, but he was still defending it. But I just feel like Ankalaev is going to mix everything in here, man. He's got to worry about takedowns. Ankalaev is very, very good defensively. He's very, very good striker, in and out, very in and out. Unlike Jan, who's standing right in front of you, waiting to get clipped, and Bogdan clipped him, right? Ankalaev doesn't fight like that. He's more in and out. He's more sleek with it. A lot of these guys that Bogdan's knocking out, or hurting or whatever, it's like they stand right in front of you. Ryan Spann, Billy Elakana just gassed, kind of gave up. Krylov, that's a shell. It's not even Krylov anymore. He looks awful. So a lot of these guys that he's been having success with, they're kind of right there in front of him. They're not doing much. They don't grapple for much. So he's had a lot of success, except for Spann. Actually, Spann had a lot of success grappling him and getting his back and stuff. But I just think this is a big levels fight, man. Like Bogdan is a one-trick pony. For me, it's like mostly all hands and that's it. Ankalaev has everything in his toolbox, fought 5 rounds, better cardio, you name it. And he has it on his side. And I really believe he was hurt for Pereira fight, whether it was that rib or whatever. I do think he was hurt. One guy is championship material, in my opinion. The other guy isn't. Guskov is not championship material. Like he's live to bonk people because he hits hard, but that's about it. But when you fight, the highest level, and they know that you're kind of a one-trick pony and that's all you have is really hands, like it's going to be hard to find it, So I think Ankalaev is going to break him, honestly. 3-4-5, 7-12, and 18. It's just one of those fights where I just think one guy has much better cardio. I know Ankalaev is not a huge finisher, right? He's not a guy that, but I just think attritionally he can finish Guskov just by landing a lot of shit. This guy is tired. At the end of the day, Ankalaev did hurt Pereira, in their first fight. He did hurt Rakic in that fight. Johnny Walker is like whatever, but he could get finishes. It's not like he can't. And so I'm going 3-4-5 here, 7-12, 18. It's not my favorite prop or anything. I'm just kind of fading Guskov's cardio. That's basically what it comes down to. All right. I think that's it here. We are going to give the Lambo parlays, but let me see. I need to go to Instagram real quick and see how many people have commented on this. And then I can figure out who. If there's only 5, then all 5 of them win. So let's see who it is here. Why can't I see them? What is going on here? Where are the comments? I don't see the comments. I don't know what happened. All right. Well, maybe I'll just put them. I'll put them in the comments in the YouTube stream on who won. I don't see the comments for whatever reason. They're erased or what happened. I have no idea. But let's do our Lambo parlays. I got 2 of them. I'm gonna go real quick on my first 2, and then Tim, you can give yours. But my first one is Axel Sola 2-3 with Ankalaev 3-4-5. So it's gonna be 6 bets total on that. And then the other one I have is it's a little bit of a smaller one, right? As far as it's concerned, it's Nurullo Aliev by points, Rizvan Kuniev by points, Ramazan Tamarov by points, 19-1.
All right. I got Hussein 2-3 and Axel 2-3, anywhere between 36-1 and 94-1.
Hussein 2-3, Axel 2-3. All right. I think that's it. All 13 fights, Lambo Parlays. I appreciate everybody. Again, if you commented on that Instagram post, we're going to post the winners. I'll post them in the comments in the YouTube channel. So I appreciate everybody. Thank you very much. 415 live viewers. Good luck this weekend. Tim, you got any parting words?
No, sir.
BKFC, BKB, PFL, LFA, UFC. Did I miss any? We got a lot going on this weekend. Join the link down below in the Discord. $25 a month, less than $1 a day. We cook in there. We're going to have a live betting stream on Saturday, early morning, 6 o'clock my time. I think it starts 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. Eastern, right? So it's 6 a.m. here, Pacific time. So appreciate everybody. Good luck. And let's cash those tickets for UFC